To me, that means we have to prepare ourselves in the sense that we have to make ourselves aware. We have to read different things in the news, the books, go to the libraries, go to the districts, and figure out what schools are teaching our children. Be involved in the academics in the school settings, because if we don't know what our kids are learning at school and we're expecting for them to go into this real world with no real sense of who they are or what they can really do, it's kind of silly in a sense. Our children are being taught by people that we never really even communicate with, so we don't know what they're really telling our children except for what our children are relaying back to us. It's taking the step of taking initiative and doing it yourself and not expecting the teachers to handle it and us being involved in the raising of our children and things of that nature. So it starts with you, it starts with us coming together and just making it make sense.
I think it means knowledge is power. And I say knowledge is power because knowledge opens up an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to develop as individuals.
This means to me is that Black people have to become more educated. I feel that we can't always go off of social media. Sometimes we can't always just depend on the news. We have to really culturally ground ourselves and get higher education to really understand how this world works. I think it's important that more Black people start to obtain degrees and really use that to their advantage, go back into the community and work on our community first.
I think that we've been prepared. I see us dominating every avenue across the board right now. I just don't think that we've had the proper access or platform to showcase our talents and abilities.
I think this quote is so powerful because it's still so relevant for Black people today. I feel like we constantly changing, transitioning, adapting in American society. What this affirms to me is that our place is at the top of who we can be. That's retracing our culture, that's retracing our identity. I think our rightful place is being the best that we can be.
For hundreds of years, there's been a system that's been meant to keep Black people down. And we're in a special time where we're really gaining more liberties, more freedoms. You can see that. We had a Black president, we've had things that are major. And this system that, at first enslaved us, didn't allow us to sit in a certain restaurant or sit in the front of the bus, now is trying to beat us a different way, through police brutality, through workplace discrimination. But it's up to us as a people to realize these things and to fight against it.
My personal experiences has really been the vehicle in the person that I have become. I've gone through a lot of adversities in my life, and those adversities have been the foundation to how I look at the world, how I am as a parent, as a professional, as a woman. And through those various areas, I have now provided an opportunity to help young people in education to dream big, because the moldings that we have can be used to allow us to grow and to exceed barriers or to be a detriment based upon how we perceive them to be.
I think it's made me more actively aware. This year I got to participate in a really big project in North Long Beach where we were assisting a campaign to get rent control on the ballot, because there's so many families that are being displaced due to gentrification, and it just made me aware, and it made me want to help them and assist them and just keep people stable and let people have their homes and advocate for those that don't have the voice or the ability to advocate for themselves.
It brought me a lot closer to my community and a lot closer to my people. At the end of the day, you're doing this for the community, so it's a selfless act. I think it made me really selfless. It made me see the importance of community and the importance of doing this work.
For me, being in president's roles, it made me uncomfortable. Getting uncomfortable and doing things that I was not used to really kind of just steered me in the right direction, because when I was younger, I wasn't involved in school academics and things like that. So now that I got uncomfortable and I started mentoring children and things like that, it opened my eyes up to the problems in the community, because it's one thing reading about it, it's another thing actually seeing it and working with the children in these communities and the students and the parents and things like that.
Being a president for the Africana Studies Student Association has really molded me in leadership, and considering that I'm one of the oldest on the E-board, I've realized that this is where it starts. You have to start on your campus. You have to start within the organizations and really mold yourself to become a greater person in the future. Because if I want to better Black people health, how am I going to do that if I don't know how to be a leader before I enter my industry?
My involvement has motivated me to realize that as Black people, we need each other. Black people, we give each other life. when I leave a BSU meeting or a BCM meeting, I feel empowered. I feel like I can take people's experiences and apply them to my own life. So my involvement has made me realize that I can seek out mentors, that I can drop my pride and use other people to help me grow.